Hello and welcome to Two Guys and a Few Good Men. I am TJ Washuk.
And I'm Garrett Loberg.
And this is Movie Lowdown for the week of December 24th, 2018.
It's getting close to the end of the year now, you know. It's getting a little chillier here in Arizona because we're ass backwards.
Yeah.
We don't get chilly in the wintertime. We get chilly in the end of wintertime. Well, it's not the end of winter, winter just started, didn't it?
I guess technically.
But, you know what? How about we get right into the news? First up this week, we've got an explanation for why James Wan decided to make such a potentially career-ending decision and put a Pitbull song that had Toto's Africa in it. TJ, do you want to explain this one?
Yeah, so there was a recent interview with James Wan, the director of Aquaman, and in this interview with Business Insider, he stated, "I'm putting the song in the sequence where Aquaman and Mira walk out of the water in slow motion. I felt, for fuck's sakes, let's have fun with it. It's something out of Fast and the Furious." Pitbull was in there very early on. He was really excited to do something for the film. The sequence is very tongue-in-cheek, and we just wanted to have fun with it. And we wanted a cheeky song at that point in the movie. I just wasn't sure what song it was going to be.
Yeah, it was very tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah. Definitely Fast and the Furious feel to it.
Yeah, because they got out of the water, and I think that, changes the whole mood of the movie, because it's kind of like...
How'd you get in the the plane like that?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't explain any of that.
They just jump right to it, and you're just like, oh, okay, they're going to Africa. Cool. And there's a lot of exposition in this movie, just spoon-fed to you.
Yeah.
And this is just even more of it to be like, hey, we're going to Africa. Let's play a song that has Africa in it and is popular.
Yeah.
So,
in another interview he had with Screen Rant, he said regarding the Aquaman movie, "And of course Steven Spielberg is one of my idols. He's one guy who's not afraid to be sentimental in his films. So I thought, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. And I don't care if people think it's cheesy or too sentimental. It's just who I am. And that's the only way I know how to make my films. Be true to myself."
He's getting pretty defensive over this song. It was such a great decision to do it. So it's funny that he's having to defend it now. So
well, that was in regard to Aquaman as a whole being cheesy.
Oh, I know, but I mean it's just a testament to why it was
such an outrage.
Yeah, people were laughing
shock
at it. Yeah. So,
up next we have some news coming from another superhero movie. It's a big superhero week for our movie news. Captain Marvel recently had an update changed from their website. So Jude Law's character's description originally read MAR-VELL. Disney has since removed that from the website.
And we were just talking about this. I think this is going to be a red herring. I think that they're switching up the whole with Marvel as a whole, Captain Marvel as a whole.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to make it so that's his name. He's not a good guy. I doubt he's a good guy, because the Kree, I believe, we've talked about this before, I think the Kree are no better than the Skrulls. It's just, they're just bringing a war that's been going on forever.
Yeah. To
Earth. It's just a new place to
almost
hide.
like one of those wars that you don't even know why it even started.
Yeah.
Type of deal.
We probably won't unless they go into a backstory into the movie. Because I can't even remember in the comics why they even started their war. But I think that's just a red herring. I really think so, because they've already shown it on the boxes for. So I'm not saying that it's
Legos?
not. Yeah, Legos and
Action Heroes?
Pops.
Oh, the
Pop vinyls. I don't think. I just think that his name is a red herring because he's supposed to be this Captain Mar-VELL, probably.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be something. He'll be somebody different. They'll be oh, he's really the bad guy.
Well, didn't you say something about a sound engineer that worked on Endgame changing his website recently?
Yeah, so a couple months ago, one of the guys that does the music for Avengers, he's been doing it, I think he's been doing it since Captain America, the first Avenger.
Wow.
But he's been working for Marvel for a long time, and on his website he updated before they even announced what the title was or whatever. They just announced, I think they just announced that they were going to be doing it in April.
The movie, yeah.
The movie. And he said something like he changed his website to where he updated
Like his resume?
Yeah, his resume. He updated it to where it said Avengers Endgame, and everyone was, causing a stir because they were saying, "Oh, well, no, that's not the title," and even the Russo said it's not the title, but then it is the title now.
That's right. Yeah, they were saying that at the conference that they had, like a month ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another Aquaman news story. We have they've grossed over $10 billion right now.
It's at
$1 billion, not 10 billion.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he's on his way to go to 1 billion. Right now he's at 67 million, which is number 13 in the most grossing movie.
So this brought up a thought in my head is, can you believe how successful DC movies are no matter how bad they are? Like, they really do they could put Marvel to shame if they started really hitting a track record of A+s.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, Aquaman was a step forward, but, I don't see them doing anything really crazy anytime soon, because what do they have on the docket? They have Wonder Woman. That's about all they have right now. Shazam, and that should be pretty fun.
That'll be out before Wonder Woman.
Yep.
And then after that, it's Birds of Prey.
Yeah, and Birds of Prey we haven't seen any footage of.
Nothing.
We don't know anything about.
Oh, and the Joker is
The
coming out
Joker,
next year.
that's right. Yeah, that's right. So, we're gonna see next year. Next year might be their year, but they can potentially, work up there with Marvel. I mean, if Aquaman's doing this well right now.
I mean, let me just list off the top 10 or top 15 highest grossing films of this year. So number 1 is a mammoth Black Panther is sitting at 700 million right now.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Infinity War, which is sitting at 678 million this year. And then Incredibles right behind, Jurassic World, Deadpool 2, got Dr. Seuss the Grinch at number 6. It's at 265 million and some change. After that is Mission Impossible Fallout, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Solo, A Star Wars Story. Got number 10, Venom.
Right
11.
there, I just want to throw this out there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right there is 5 products of Marvel, Disney. It's all products of Disney. 5.
Yeah.
That's Star Wars, any of the Avengers movies or any of the Marvel movies.
Well, the top 3 are Disney.
Yeah. Actually, no, that'd be 6. That would be 6 then. 6 or 7 that are.
Well, if you consider, the Deadpool 2 as being at Disney now, but it was still under Fox.
But they did talk about that, apparently. That he, I guess, in one of the end credit scenes in the new Deadpool movie, they talk about how he is going to be part of Disney in that merger.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of interesting that they're actually making a joke about that, because and I'm sure Disney doesn't want to get rid of it because they have other grittier stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it'll get toned down. I think that's why I think that's where they were joking, was that they made this PG-13 version so that they could show Marvel, hey,
we could still make it.
we can do it.
Yeah.
So whether we see Deadpool in the future just toned down, even I would be okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they'll tone it down because it'll be under Fox's branch, not Marvel,
True.
right?
Yeah, and it's not like they're gonna have to tone their stuff down anyways.
Mm-hmm. But just to wrap it up here.
Yeah.
After that is Star Wars Born, right underneath Venom, which both came out at the same time.
Born?
A Star Wars Born.
Oh, Star is Born. Okay. I think Star Wars Born.
Oh,
was like,
no.
Dang, they made a Born series of that.
Under that is Bohemian Rhapsody, which came out on November 2nd. And then Aquaman is right behind that. And then A Quiet Place did actually really well, the best for any horror movie. And then following that is Ralph Breaks the Internet. And then the last one here on the list is Crazy Rich Asians, which was WB as well. So Aquaman outpaced Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah. Oh, Crazy Rich Asians was just number 1 in the box office just because I think so many people are piling in to see it.
Yeah.
So fast.
And even on iTunes right now, it's the the top rented or bought film.
Well, I've been going to... every time I go to the store, I usually stop at Redbox to see what they have.
Yeah.
In the last, 4 days that I've gone, they haven't had it available.
Damn.
So, because it's always on the first page of it. It's always on, the bottom.
It's an alphabetical or something.
Yeah, and... so I always see it. It's always catches my eye. And I'm like, oh man, I kind of want to rent it. And then every time I've looked at it, they're not. You can't rent it because it's all bought up. And I imagine they put more than one in there.
No, they probably have at least 10.
Yeah,
I would say.
So it goes that fast.
But then you had some other news on that Rotten Tomatoes article.
Yeah. Let me pull it up here. So, Mary Queens of Scots is a movie out right now, starring Margot Robbie, about her as the Queen of Scots, and basically it's just going to be a movie that they basically changed the consensus on Rotten Tomatoes. So, the critical consensus at first was Mary Queens of Scots delivers smartly crafted period political thrills while offering a brilliant showcase for the talents of well-matched leads. And then, as of right now, on the 30th, they changed the consensus to Mary Queens of Scots delivers uneven period political thrills while offering a solid showcase from the talents of the well-matched leads. So they changed 2 pieces of it.
Yeah.
They changed it from smartly crafted to uneven and then brilliant to solid.
Huh.
So obviously taking it down a peg is pretty funny because it shows how Rotten Tomatoes can show that they're wrong. If you look at it, you go on there. If they had kept it at that with 61%, people would go, "What?"
And then read into it
more. But they didn't. They changed it up and they added the extra bits.
Exactly, and they just get a average of whatever other people are saying, so that could change, the next day
At any time,
just like that.
Yeah. And I think the James Wan part of it with Aquaman was at 91%, I believe, the first day. And as soon as it came out to the critics, it dropped to I think 70.
Yeah,
70%.
It's at 70, I think.
So I wonder if they did that for their
Marketing
page
purposes.
Yeah. To say,
Oh no, it's at 64.
64%. So it's dropped about 6 more points.
Yep.
So. But that was kind of funny. I read that on Reddit this morning. I was like, that's nuts that the Rotten Tomatoes. I know that they're like you said, they kind of go with the norm. If it's good, they'll talk about it. If it's bad, they'll bash it.
So what I think they should do is have a pre-screening rating and then a public rating. Because they should release the consensus of the critics all at once, and they shouldn't add new ones every other day.
Yeah, because they should
just save up other people's reviews for the last group that hasn't seen it yet, and then release it that week.
Well, it should be if you've seen it the first day, they should have you have to send in with your review, you have to send in a picture of your ticket stub.
Yeah.
And that you actually saw it that day, and it should be the pre-screening reviews, or if you saw it pre-screening, bring that stuff.
Some type of documentation.
Yeah, so that way you can make that review, and we have, like you said, a pre-screening, and then after that, everything that comes in, that's just what they get. And they don't have to update it weekly. It's just that outpour will be right there, and not everyone is going to be skewed because some of these movies are shown at festivals, and they're great, but
only 100 people, review it.
And out of those 100 people, how many of them are going to be critics? Maybe 12 or 14 of them sometimes.
Yeah.
There's not a lot that go in there. A lot of people just get tickets and they can go in and
a lot of them
watch
are
it.
just fans of movies. They just like to see movies.
And people can, and they put the embargo on them, so they can't review them. A lot of movies that these guys see early on in these
until they
film
start
festivals.
releasing the trailers, I think.
No, not even then.
No.
They can, with us, we can't even talk about Toy Story until. If you read the document, it's until it's after it's out.
Oh, okay.
So we can discuss how we liked it. We can't go into depth.
Because there's one movie that we just watched a trailer on. It was the one with those old men, where they're doing the final bank heist.
Yes, yeah.
So that was released in the UK. So I guess it's kind of different because that was released in the UK months ago.
Yeah.
And that already has ratings on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. But not in America, because it hasn't been in America until, I think, next year it comes out.
But even the film festivals, that's why sometimes we see those on Rotten Tomato.
Yeah,
They're
so
already
film festivals, you technically can.
Yeah.
review. Okay.
But I don't know if they released the reviews for it. Like they might
right
say
away.
they might say it's brilliant in the sense that but there's no like plot details they're gonna ever.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they can say
No
like
spoilers in the reviews.
yeah, they can say like the plot was terrible, but they can't go in depth and say why. And then you'll start seeing with reviews that come in after the movie's released, then they can just start blasting it if they want. They probably update their thoughts on it.
Oh, and speaking of which, I saw a article stating that revealed photos of Bo Peep in her new outfit.
Oh God.
So they're slowly releasing leaks on that now.
Yeah, and with Toy Story, like you gotta imagine that they're gonna leak stuff probably, and like obviously people are too scared with signing a legal document because that could just come back and smack you. And I always thought about that. What if like we changed our names on those?
Oh yeah, put like Fred Durst or
Yeah.
something like that.
And they're like, hey, you can't say that about the movie. And I'm like, how do you know we saw it?
Yeah.
And they're
You
like,
didn't take
well,
a picture of us.
what are your names? Garrett and TJ? Shit, we don't have any Garretts or TJs here. So,
And then lastly, I saw on this news week that Monster Hunter the movie just wrapped up production, and they just started filming in October.
really?
So that was a fast.
Yeah, but you gotta
Sure.
imagine that a lot of this is gonna be animated.
Oh, I guess it's true.
So, like, that's like with Avengers movies now, you see them wrapping really quick because, like, they released that video of them recording Infinity War. Remember last year there was like in January they released something of them filming it.
Yeah.
And it was the first day in Atlanta when they were filming it, and they filmed like that whole scene on Titan in a day.
Okay.
Because a lot of it's just getting
The
the
CGI.
movements down and, you know, flying around, and then they'll add the CGI later. So like that day, that was an easy wrap for them, even though it's a scene in the movie for like almost 20 minutes.
Yeah.
They got that done in like I think a day, and they probably had to reshoot a couple scenes, but like it's fast how they do them now because they don't have to have these set pieces. They just green screen it all, and
Yeah, just rely on the CGI animators to do their best,
and
they've done great.
yeah, in Monster Hunter, there's a lot of weird realms and stuff, so I wonder if they're going to be incorporating a lot of trippy aspects of that, you know, like caves,
I would hope so.
volcanoes, and...
I would hope so, because she, some weird areas, she said she's going to post, Mila Jovovich, she said she's going to post on her Instagram some of the scenes, or scenery shots that she was at during the movie production.
Okay.
But it seems like she's like in the military and then somehow gets transported into this monster world. Just from the
Okay.
photos I've looked at, because she has like a military get up on,
Okay.
and she's with two other soldiers in a Humvee. You could see.
That's cool that there's going to be a Humvee in the monster
I
world.
know.
That'd be awesome. Like, oh, I'm getting chased, but now I don't have any... Oh, they wouldn't have any fuel, so that would suck.
Right.
But...
That's gonna do it for this week's news. So let's look at some trailers.
We got movie trailers.
Okay, first up in the trailers this week, we have Us, coming from the crazy mind of Jordan Peele. This is a pretty crazy trailer, man. I like how they dragged out, I'm not sure the correct term for that.
5 on it?
Yeah, the 5 on it. What they did to it, like they dragged out the song and made it
Yeah.
a little longer.
No, I think that's a good way of putting it. That's what I thought it was called when you drag it out. But yeah, it was really creepy.
They made it
and-
creepy.
Yeah.
Heck with the piano keys.
Well, it's such a orgasmic song. Like you listen to it and you can just get into the groove. Even when she was like, get with the beat, like that song's a really good song to just like vibe out to and feel good to. So the way that they did that, it turns it from like a nice like feel good song from the 90s to like it almost makes you anxious.
Yeah.
So I really like that they had that.
This almost seemed like a, Black Mirror type of episode.
Because it's literally them like that. I'm wondering if because they only show the scenes with them
Interacting with the creatures or clones or whatever.
And then they show bunnies, which a lot of genetic testing and cloning
Use rabbits.
use
or
rabbits
rats.
for. So I wonder if this is like they're in a cloning facility and they end up getting their DNA mixed up with something, and they bring another group of them back, or I don't know.
It definitely has to do with cloning, I think, because there was a crap ton of rabbits that they showed in some type of facility, and that's the only thing they showed of that facility was just that one scene, and the other scenes is either at the beach or at their house.
Yep,
those are the only 3 scenes I think they showed.
Exactly. So it's kind of what is going to happen. So I'm really looking forward to this movie now. This trailer was dropped on Christmas. That was a pretty nice Christmas present.
And this is starring Elizabeth Moss. Was it Yahya Abdul Mateen II?
People were making memes about it.
That's the guy that was Black Manta in Aquaman.
Yep. It's funny because they were making memes about how M'Baku took T'Challa's girl.
Oh.
And they were making fun of like how it's like an alternative, like they got
version.
They both got snapped, and so he took his girl.
Yeah, because Winston Duke is M'Baku, and I was also hearing that this is like a spiritual successor to Get Out.
Yeah, so it might be like some. What I was thinking was like that's how they had the people that were taking their minds and
yeah. What if they're trying to make clones instead?
That's what I figured was the case. So, but Jordan Peele, like Get Out was kind of the same thing. No one knew what was going to happen.
No, it was a mindfuck.
Yeah. So this is going to be the same thing, and I'm really happy that he's directing movies now because. Yeah,
and it seems like he's doing a lot of horror.
And I'm very happy with it because it's something that it's my kind of horror. It's not jump scares.
It's a thriller instead of like a jump scare.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, like there's been a couple horror movies I've liked, but jump scares just are annoying. That's my big thing. If they didn't have them, I'm very okay with horror movies now.
Yeah. He's supposed to be the narrator in the new Twilight Zone that's coming out next year. Let's go on to the next one.
All right, next up we've got Teen Spirit, which is a movie starring
Ellie Fanning,
Rebecca Hall, and Miley Brady. This is looks like a superstar movie. Remember, it's kind of like how we do American Idol here.
Yeah.
And just a girl that's training in a home for it. That's about all I got.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like there's a foreign composer or a voice coach, maybe from Holland or something.
Yeah.
Some type of like a Holland accent. Reminds you of the guy from the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah,
that type of voice.
Very very baritone.
Yeah. So she's trying to become a superstar, it seems like. And this has a lot of different well-known music stars.
Yeah.
They got No Doubt, Katy Perry,
Ellie Goulding,
Carly Rae Jepsen, Major Lazer, he's a big EDM guy.
Yeah, so it's got a lot of like good music. Even it says here, Violet is a shy teenager who dreams of escaping her small town and pursuing her passion of singing. And obviously, with the help of her unlikely mentor, she enters a local singing competition that will test her integrity, talent, and ambition. Driven by a pop-fueled soundtrack, Teen Spirit is a visceral and stylish spin on Cinderella's story. So,
okay,
it's kind of like. It's not going to be Cinderella's story.
No, but it's like that type of aspect to it.
So,
but yeah, it looks like if you're into, singing movies that have songs in it, right up your alley. Or if you're into, it looks like almost like a indie type of a movie.
Yeah, it's the same people that made La La Land. So, kind of the same aspect as that.
Yeah. So this is our one of 3 music shows or music movies of the year.
Yep.
Comes out in April, I think.
Yep. So we'll see. I probably won't see it in theater.
Yeah.
But,
not my cup of tea, but it looks good if you're into that. Okay, and that is going to do it for this week's movie Lowdown. Skip the review this week. We'll see a movie next week, most likely. But as far as question of the week goes, did you have one?
I did not have one for this week.
It's all good. Just an update then. Garrett and I are still going to be doing our top 10 movies of the year, so stay tuned for that. And then might also try to change the format of the movie Lowdown, where we're actually on camera, and then we'll cut in videos or pictures if needed.
Yep. I was pretty excited that you brought that up last week. So,
so we just need to get that set up and figured out. So stay tuned next year in 2019 for a new movie Lowdown look.
We also want to just say we appreciate all the love that we've gotten this year. You know, we just started this year. It's been about 6 months that we've been doing it.
Yeah.
And we're definitely not hitting our market that we want to yet, but
no.
All of you that have followed along and listens religiously, there's been a couple people, and we just want to say thank you, for this year, and we want to continue it for next year, and we want to actually have some more stuff for you guys.
Keep making it better.
Yeah, keep updating our stuff and making it a little better each time. So just thank you to everyone, and we'll see you next year.
Yep, and this is Lowdown for the year of 2018. I am TJ Washuk.
And I am 2018.
We love you.
Bye.
This has been a Two Guys production.
Who's gonna be the one to hold you tight when it's exactly 12 o'clock at night? Welcoming in the